What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the current data points, latest updates, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So NIO pre-market is up slightly, 0.46%, same as yesterday, somewhat of a flat pre-market, and then as soon as the market opens, it just went up. Very unexpected, but potentially could happen this time around, as a lot of the technicals and analyst ratings coming out do signal a little bit more upside potentially, but so far as official news from NIO, nothing all that much. I think now just people are waiting for March numbers, so that should be coming out early next week. Aside from that, some things that have come out was this. So it looks like NIO did reach a strategic cooperation with Beijing Future Science City, and that's for 100 swap stations. So pretty good stuff, if you ask me. The only other thing that I felt maybe justified to bring up that I think directly contradicts something that had come out a week prior, and that was this. So NIO won't do any company-wide layoffs, CEO says. So there was a lot of articles about them cost-cutting, several cost-cutting measures, including layoffs. So this one definitely does contradict that. Goes over what happened in 2018, how they did a mass layoff at that stage, and Lee did state that if they were to go back and redo a lot of things, how they paid a lot of tuition for individuals, they would save a lot of money. So I think he's kind of unfortunately regretting that, but nonetheless though, good to see that the company won't be doing any layoffs. So it looks like they'll just be focusing on a lot of other partnerships through CATL and whatever else to hopefully kind of bear the cost of various things and whatever else. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Aside from that though, shorts. So it does indicate right now shorts are returning roughly around 20 million shares this morning. That is incorrect, only because 2 times per month the NASDAQ and both the New York Stock Exchange will give reports on the true amount of shares being shorted. So ultimately, it's always delayed on a side note, but as of March the 14th, there was 180.54 million shares overall being shorted, works out to be 13.52%, a reduction of 15.76, meaning between February the 28th and March the 14th, so when it started to really run up to, I guess, roughly around that $5 range, leading into kind of their pre-momentum earnings. So ultimately right over here, so February the 28th, when it did have $4.63 to when it started to run up to ultimately like kind of this run right here, that was largely because of shorts. So shorts did return a additional roughly 34 million shares. It went from 214 to 180 million. So definitely a lot of manipulation that's happening behind the scenes, and a lot of that does occur on the dark pool. That's why every video I bring up, hey, these are the transactions occurring on the dark pool, these are the ones blah 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 on the secondary market. So there's just a lot of manipulation. So these are all the transactions that did occur yesterday on the dark pool, and actually my apologies, that is right here. So these are the ones from yesterday. So a lot of big transactions, and like I've stated, a lot of that could be shorts trying to hide some of their transactions and covering and whatever else. But new updated short interest as of today is 13.47%. So shorts are still definitely all over NIO, just on a little bit lower of a scale than what we previously thought. Aside from that, no real substantial data points today that on the American front that could really move NIO through algorithmic trading. And coming from China, not all that much in data. So next big one is coming out for the most part manufacturing on Sunday, March the 30th. So nothing really crazy right now. So let me know your general thoughts on that in the comments below, just to give you a quick overview of some of the options. So based on this, it is anticipating for it to get roughly around that $5 range above in the foreseeable future. Elliot Wave Technicals does project a similar type of push higher, so it has a pivot point of $4.20, and for as long as NIO is above that, then it is anticipated to get between that $5.78 and $6.17. So pretty good stuff. What's your kind of viewpoint on that? I know a lot of individuals post earnings. We're assuming that it was just going to kind of go down to the threes. It's been holding up like a absolute champ. Right over here on the fib levels, 418, I don't believe since their earnings has been touched. It is the next strong support. So I think just overall NIO really does want to move higher, is just waiting for the next big catalyst, which most likely would be their monthly numbers. But aside from that, $4.60 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. And you never know, it could happen, same as yesterday, how it did have that nice spike up. It just, all it'll take is a nice momentum push, and then essentially big money and algorithmic trading will follow. GameStop, on a side note, is really pushing higher, so a lot of heavily shorted stocks might really move with that. So maybe, you never know, NIO could participate in that. Aside from that, though, no new analyst ratings that did come out yesterday that I haven't brought up in my video yesterday, if that makes sense. But as you can kind of see, so there was roughly, what was that, 6 that came out. So $8.10 is showing as yesterday, but that one came out the day before. I saw a couple articles bringing that up, so I don't know if Jeff from Citi, who has a 40% success rating, did kind of, even though one day did pass, amended their price target. So I'm not really sure the basis of that, but nonetheless, $4.91 is that consensus. Works out to be 11.85% of a upside. Aside from all of that fun stuff, though, looking on the actual chart, some key points to really watch for. $4.43 is that 50-day moving average. 456 is that 100-day moving average. So kind of just watch for those, at least for today. And then $4.70 is going to be that 200-day moving average. 50-day is a very big deal for NIO, and it actually looked fairly good when it did break out here. Keep in mind a lot of this volatility, so from this point right here up until here, shorts returned a additional 34 million shares. So all in all, interesting day. Let me know your general thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. Are you buying the dip? Are you selling? What's your kind of viewpoint on these things I did bring up about NIO not doing any layoffs? I guess that could be seen as a positive thing or as a negative. Of course, usually layoffs is the first step for cost cutting, but I don't know, unless NIO really does think that they don't have any unnecessary positions, which would be kind of crazy to think of. But nonetheless, let me know your viewpoint on all of that. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.